had been looking since we moved down here to the lake from the state of Washington for a new law firm to update our will. And so we looked around and talked to a lot of friends here at the lake that have been long-timers down here at the lake. And almost everyone had a recommendation for the O'Donnell Law Firm. And I found out that I had actually met Deidre a couple of years before and didn't realize that until we actually met her face to face. But she had very high recommendations both with herself and her staff and the professionalism in doing trusts and wills for couples like ourselves here. So we were very pleased to find someone of this caliber and quality here at the lake. One of the reasons why we chose the O'Donnell Law Firm was we have in my opinion, or our opinion, a unique situation. It is just my wife and I. We have no children, no other dependents, no family here in the United States. Lourdes is from Venezuela, where I met her when I was working down there. And if you're not aware, Venezuela is a communist socialist country, and the United States has cut off ties with Venezuela, which makes traveling and just doing normal day-to-day business, communications, things like that, extremely difficult, if not impossible. So we wanted to make sure that Lourdes's sisters and brothers were the recipients of our estate. But we needed to find someone that had the knowledge to be able to get that transferred from the U.S. Down to Venezuela. And the O'Donnell Law Firm worked with us very closely on that and worked with our financial planners and advisors on how we could best do that. And since this was kind of a very unique situation, we needed a unique law firm that could handle our type of situation that we will be facing. The entire process that we went through was much more interesting, I guess is the right word, than what I had envisioned or what we'd seen and what we had done in the past. Again, our situation changed with our estate going to Lourdes's family in Venezuela, but the process was very interesting because, one, we had COVID-19 to deal with, so even though we did have a few face-to-face meetings, most of it was done on Zoom, which was new to us, and we'd used it a couple times before, but it took a little bit getting used to, but once we got into it, we felt very comfortable with the process. And I think Deidre and her staff were all very, very helpful in going through the process, even though it was on a remote basis. So again, I was extremely pleased with the process, and it took longer than I thought it should. But once we got into it, I saw the reason why, and that was for the extensive research and the thoroughness that the O'Donnell Law Firm put into our estate planning portfolio, which is again one of the best I've seen. When we finished with the estate planning, we were extremely pleased. I think more importantly, we're extremely confident that going forward with this, with our families and with the administrators of our will and trust, is going to be handled very efficiently, very quickly, because of the thoroughness and the ease and the organization that was put into the entire estate planning process. As I said, I was expecting something initially that'd take a couple of weeks to get done, and again, because of COVID, it took longer, but it was well worth it from the standpoint of covering every contingency that we could think of, and we thought of a lot of them, as did our financial planners. So we ended up with a result of a not only for ourselves, but for Lourdes' family in Venezuela, and the people that are going to be administering our trust and will. I think it's going to be a very simple process at that point because of the thoroughness and the completeness that was done at the O'Donnell Law Service.